It's been over a week since the press release by the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, firmly denying allegations that the NIN and BVN data of Nigerian citizens has been compromised. Reactions continue to trail the allegation of possible compromise due to certain beliefs that the data of Nigerians is not properly protected. Joining us now to put the facts straight is Engineer Lanre Yusuf, Director, IT IDD at the National Identity Management Commission, and he is joined by Kayode Adegoke, Head Corporate Communications of the National Identity Management Commission. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thank you for having us on the morning show on Arise TV. Thank you.
Well, Engineer Adegoke, Engineer Yusuf. Let me start with Engineer Yusuf. I mean, you are the director in charge of IT. We were told that the strongest rebuttal that came from NIMC is that these persons selling the data of Nigerians are data harvesters. Are they recognized in the NIMC Act? Is it a normal thing for data harvesters to sell data? And then for you, Engineer Lanre Yusuf, for you, Mr. Adegoke. Mr. Adegoke is the one in charge of corporate communications. Now, in the light of this concern, is the NIMC still saying it will go ahead with the 3-in-1 card that it wants to introduce? Because if they sell our data, our identity, they use it to get SIM cards, should they also steal our bank accounts, our BVN? But let's start with the engineer, Engineer Yusuf, let's start with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abati, and it's nice meeting you finally on the Arise show. We've watched you over the years, and thank you so much for having NIMC here. Well, data harvester is a new terminology in the data ecosystem, in the identity ecosystem. We don't have anything like data harvester. It is true that we have licensed verification partners, and on this issue of data breach, firstly, there is no data breach from the National Identity Management Commission. That has been stated clearly. That has been what we have tried to let the country understand. There is no data breach, and we are wholly standing by all the data protection laws, all the cyber security protocols to make sure that Nigerian data are protected. I heard you in your opening, you joined the NIMC, the NIN with the BVN. I cannot speak for the BVN, but authoritatively, based on digital directive, I can wholeheartedly speak on the NIN. And I can assure you and Nigerians that the national identification number is secure, protected, domiciled here in Nigeria in a data center within our reach, and we do not have any breach. To speak on the license verification agent, you all know that we have stakeholder agency. Because NIMC is responsible for the foundational identity, so we understand why all focus is channeled towards NIMC. But again, we do have APIs, we do have protocols, we do have agencies that must consume our data in order for them to do their functional duties, in order to provide services for Nigerians. So rightfully, people will have access to our data. Licensed people will have access to our data. But as you can see, it's like we have a market square, whereby some people, some individuals, or some organizations have harvested data from different organizations and are in the market space trying to sell to interested buyers. Data, though, is the new oil, but we understand that it needs to be protected, it needs to be secured, it needs to be in a protected environment, and that we have been doing. Thank you.
Okay, real quickly,
What of the other man, okay. Mr. Adegoke? Mr. Adegoke?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ruben Abati. Let me say I'm an avid follower of Arise TV, especially the morning show, and I appreciate what you, Mr. Rufai, and the other ladies are doing. You are doing a great job. However, like I had to put a call through, let me state this, I had to put a call through to the producer of the program to say, like my brother, Mr. Rufai, will always speak in Yoruba, we've been discussing this false narrative on data breaches, and yet NIMC has not even been called upon to even come and talk to Nigerians and present the facts. And let me say this, Dr. Abati. First and foremost, what Paradigm Initiative has been saying all around is just false narrative. Because first and foremost, what they said in their report was that there's data leak on several government agencies' platforms, NIMC inclusive. And because NIMC is a responsible and responsive organization, we took it upon ourselves to tell Nigerians that there is no data leak. Our database is foolproof, is secure. The data of Nigerians is secure. And by the way, what they said is that you can pursue the NIN slip of any Nigerian with 100 naira. First and foremost, NIN slip are not obtained via online media. I'm sure Dr. Abati and my brother, Mr. Rufai, you've gone to any of our centers to enroll. When you enroll, the NIN slip is given to you as a token of the enrollment. I think what people don't understand is that what NIMC is doing is digital identity management. A lot of people are still living in the analog system. The card is the slip given to you is just like a token to say you have enrolled and your NIN is on it. And for the information of Nigerians, and what Mr. Gbenga Sheson said on another platform, that you can just use the NIN slip of a general, you go to the SIM registration center, get the SIM. It's not done that way. Let me explain the digital system, the way it works. And I'm going to use the two-step flow of communication to explain to the media first before engaging Nigerians. First, when you obtain your NIN, the data on your NIN is stored in the database. And anytime you want to access any government service, for instance, you want to get your SIM card, that data, that NIN you are presented will be verified and authenticated. And I want to tell Nigerians that data is not only the demographic data you see. Data surpasses that. The biometrics aspect of the data is very key and crucial, which is the fingerprint and the iris. If you take a general's NIN and you want to access, you want to get the SIM card, that NIN will be verified with your fingerprint and your iris to find out if truly you are the one. This can be fact-checked. You can go to NCC or any of the telcos to find out this process. And I'm sure, Dr. Abati, you're a seasoned journalist. I want you to conduct an investigation. Just take your NIN slip or anybody's NIN slip and take it there and say, oh, you want to enroll, you want to get the NIN. See whether it will not be verified, authenticated. They can't just give you the SIM card. And so with other government services, the NIN must be verified because it is a digital token. It is not an analog token that anybody can just parade around. And by the way, I have a question, and the question is to Mr. Gbenga Sheson. I would be happy if you can bring him on here. He said he purchased the minister or the Honorable Minister of Communications NIN slip online at 100 naira. First and foremost, why did he not purchase his own NIN slip? Why that of the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy? Second, the NIN slip he purportedly paraded is fake. That's not our NIN slip. I'm sure, Dr. Abati, when you get home, check the NIN slip that was given to you. Compare it to the one being paraded online, and you discover that that's a fake NIN slip. And thirdly, that NIN slip that is parading cannot be used to access any government text without verification and authentication. And going back to the question Dr. Abati asked about the general multipurpose card, as part of the act that set up the NIMC, it behoves on NIMC to enroll all Nigerians and the legal residents into the National Identity Database and issued a digital token called the National Identification Number. It's an 11-digit number. And also issued the General Multipurpose Card. And you will recall, in 2014, NIMC issued the General Multipurpose Card, which was launched by the then president. And I'm sure, Dr. Abati, you were aware. And after that, when Engineer Bisoye Kokaudu-Shote, the DGC of NIMC, came on board in August, one of the things she said she wanted to do is to revamp the entire identification system, which was backed up by by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you look at his inaugural speech and thereafter, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu stated that he wants to strengthen the identity database in the identity sector in the country. And Engineer Bisoye Kokadishota took it upon herself to say, going forward, we will improve on the existing general multipurpose card. But this time around, it's going to be a different ball game. The individual, the NIN holders will be the one to request for this card. NIMC will not just print the card. You will make a request. And when you make a request, you can make, we are partnering with the CBN, the NIMS, and the banks this time around. You can go to any of your bank branches to apply for the card. And you can come to any of our offices to apply. And you can also apply through an online platform that will be provided when this card is going to be launched. Now, once you apply, it behoves on NIMC to now print this card for you, unlike before when this card will be printed. So in terms of data, the data is safe because this card will have a chip, and this chip is secured. Nobody can access your data. It is this chip that will be verified when any service is being rendered. And when we say this card has also financial inclusion because we are working with the banks, the banking sector, through the CBN and NIMS.
All right. Thank you. Right. Let's go back to Engineer Lanre Yusuf. I want to ask something slightly technical. So there's still a website that's being circulated that has the NIMC logo and is a portal asking people. It's called the NIMC Modification Correction Portal 2024. On the website, they've even put government approved. And what it does is, of course, it asks you to input all of your data there. Now, because you kind of brushed past the issue of data harvesting, but I don't think we're quite satisfied with what are the measures that you are taking for platforms such as this. It's still operational. I've just opened it on my phone. These are circulating, and this is how people's data is being harvested. What are the actual measures in place to ensure that when fraudulent sites like this are circulated and some people who are not savvy enough to see that it's fake, what is in place to ensure that their data is protected?
Thank you so much. I'm sure you know the social media is a wide industry whereby people can buy and sell different products. And that's why it's called the World Wide Web, okay? It's a free world. That website that you just mentioned, I'm hearing it for the first time. That's number one. So it is a fake site. There are a lot of phishing sites, The security agencies are clamping down. Less than 24 hours ago, the DG CEO of NIMC with some management team were at the Nigerian Police Force National Cyber Security Center, okay, Cyber Crime Center, okay, and also she has been severally to answer the National Cyber Crime Coordinating Command, to make sure that security agencies are pulling down this site. I can't tell you the number of sites that have been pulled down. The you verify me, whatever. I mean, not verify. Apologies. You verify site that is illegal. Verify me is a legal entity that we know. You verify me or any verify. All these sites, there are multiple of them out there. So the information here is that, and the advice here is that people should be aware of this illegal site. Okay, don't give your information to any site that is not approved. NIMC website is available to all. You can go to NIMC website and see the approved stakeholder agencies that will relate with. In addition to that,
let me ask my question again. So these sites exist and they are harvesting people's data. My question is, on your end as NIMC, what do you have in place to ensure that somebody cannot use my data fraudulently? Is there a link to an OTP to your phone number to verify? You know, there's so many different data protection measures. I want to know, what are you guys doing at NIMC? We can't control the behavior of fraudulent people, but what is the safeguard from your back end to make sure that this data is not manipulated?
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much. You know there are different security protocols that need to be put in place. The OTP is one of them. Most importantly, the National Data Protection Agency have come up with frameworks, with methodologies of citizen consent. There need to be consent when people's data are being requested. So you will get an alert on your phone to confirm if you're actually making that request. All these are update programs in place that we are trying to put so that we checkmate some of these phishing sites. The phishing industry is huge. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry whereby people try to do perpetrate identity theft. So, but as citizens, we also have a responsibility to be aware of where we which site to visit, which site we pass our information, and in addition to that, we have collaboration with the NDPC. The commissioner is almost in our offices every other day. He was in our office yesterday, trying to investigate and trying to bring on board some of the measures that will ensure people's privacy and data security. So yes, we are working on it.
Okay, so two things. Good to see you guys. Number one, I'd like to ask, where is NIMC storing that data? Is it in cloud or in situ?
Well, all NIMC data, when you say cloud terminates somewhere, okay? It must terminate somewhere.
So is it cloud?
All our data terminates, it resides here in Nigeria.
Okay, so is it cloud resident in Nigeria
No,
or rack centers? Or storage centers? Where are you storing the data?
It's a rack center. It's a dedicated server here in Nigeria.
Dedicated server here in Nigeria. Good.
Yeah. We're in national TV. I cannot give you a location.
No. But I'm not saying no.
Just
hang on a minute. So the data is resident here. So your touch point.
That's correct.
So your touch point verification agency like Verify Me. What happens to how do you get the interface across when they need to verify?
They use APIs.
So you have selected APIs for them.
APIs. You know, there are different
are you sure? Are you sure if those API links have never been broken?
And some of them use site-to-site.
Site-to-site APIs. Are you sure if those API links have never been broken?
No, they have never been broken.
Can you show me? Can you show me an authentication?
They have never been broken.
Hang on a minute. Can you show me an end-to-end authentication report that any time where those requests were made across those APIs, there was no breakage?
Just a visit to our office, we will share some of our documentation.
I don't need to visit your office. For the sake of public trust, tomorrow, once you leave here, please, you can publish authentication across site-to-site transfers that links were never broken or encroached in.
We can surely do that, yes.
So please do well to publish that, because you cannot tell me that with all the data moving out here, and you're saying site-to-site transfer, and links were not broken. What's the security protocol of your site-to-site transfer?
Mr. Rufai, you do understand and you do know that NIMC data is the largest in Africa, identity data. Okay, that's something that we need, both of us need to jealously guard. Okay, and in this case, in this data breach, right, NIMC is just being picked on because we are probably the elephant in the room. Okay, there are other stakeholder agencies. So we are assuring you,
can you assure me,
Can you
assure me and Nigerians that the other stakeholders that also have like data touch points in site-to-site transfer, they've never been breached?
Yeah.
Are you saying it's not only NIMC alone?
Well, I think they will have to come up.
So you're saying others might have been breached, right?
No, I'm not saying that. That's why I'm saying I cannot speak for them.
So, but you're saying,
speak for them.
You're saying
I can assure you
that NIMC was never breached, right? And you're saying those API protocols were never tampered with. I will only believe you when you show me the end-to-end authentication of that. Secondly, I've said, what's your security protocol to protect those site-to-site transfer?
Okay, we have different security protocols. One thing I can tell you, and I can assure Nigerians, is that your data is encrypted both in transit and at rest. Okay, so this data, there are protocols that are put in place to make sure that this data, both in transit.
What level of encryption?
We have pretty much the highest level of encryption in the data. Mr. Rufai, when we're talking about technology, and when there are security implications involved in it, right, it is better done not on public domain. Okay? Again, one guarantee I've given you, and I've given Nigerians, that we have never been breached. And with 100 plus million, yeah, probably we are now a target because people have seen the value of the data that we have. The data that we store. Okay, so as a responsible organization, we are ISO, for goodness sake, we are ISO certified, ISO 27001 certified. Since 2013, we are the first government agency that got certified with ISO 27001. Okay, we have ISO 2022, we are due for another certification. So we are responsible government, we will play by best practices and best rules.
Okay, hang on a minute, can you hear me now? So the only time I'll believe what you've said
I've been hearing you
is if I can get an authentication report that there was never a breach across all these information transfer lines. But thank you so much this morning. I thank you for your time. Thank you. I appreciate you. I think that's about the end of the show, Dr. Madara.
Okay. Thank you. Mr.
Thank you.
Adegoke, any last words, because it looks like Nigerians may not be so impressed with your presentation this morning. Okay. After all, INEC in the 2023 election, an election that was very important to Nigerians, they came and told us glitches. It was data breach. So we're used to these data breaches coming from government side. And people say, well, we don't trust government anyway. They don't trust government with their money. They don't trust government with their data.
Dr. Ruben, thank you for at least having us on your show. And I must commend my brother, Mr. Rufai, for the constructive questions. And in addition to what Engineer Lanre, the director of ITID, said, I also want to assure Nigerians that there is no data breach whatsoever. All that is being peddled in the public's domain is just fake. First and foremost, sir, this is a digital identity. It is not analog. My brother, my dear brother, Mr. Rufai, if anybody should steal, if your NIN slip is being stolen and they want to access service from government, no one will give them that try because their biometrics will be verified. Your fingerprint and your iris will be verified to ensure that the person presenting it is the actual owner. And also, Dr. Abati, I want to tell Nigerians that the NIN slip being circulated is fake. Please check the authentic NIN slip. NIN slip cannot be bought online. NIN slip is issued at the place of enrollment. You can try it. You can fact check that. For Engineer Biso Ekoka, when she came on board, like I said, we are streamlining our processes to ease enrollment and modification process. For instance, now, what we have done is that instead of you going to our centers to go and do modification of your data, maybe like your date of birth, your name or whatsoever, you can actually do it on a portal now. We have introduced a portal whereby you can do those things. You don't need to visit our center. Not only that, even the enrollment system, you will recall recently, we revalidated some FEPs. The process is to ensure security check so that whoever is going to partner with NIMC will be someone or the organization that the security people can actually testify to that this person has the utmost integrity. And you can see that our enrollment is ongoing in several places across all local government wards in the country. So I want to assure Arise TV, our media partners and Nigerians, there is no data breach. Okay. We are telling you the fact. We will not come here to come and spill lies because we have nothing to gain, but to tell Nigerians that NIMC has the largest identity database in Africa. We will continue to oppose the highest ethical standard in securing this, and we are working with strategic partners like Engineer Larry said, the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, security agencies, to continually improve on our existing system. We will not rest until the best is done for the country.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We have heard you, Mr. Adegoke. We have heard you, Engineer Yusuf. I hope both of you and others at NIMC are aware that two senators, Jibrin Barau from Kano North and Cyril Fashui from Ekiti North, they are now saying that we have to take another look at the NIMC Act of 2014 because of the threat of identity theft and other issues. So I hope that will be part of the conversation on your review when you go back. Thank you very much.